Hopefully that part didn't get recorded where I said I didn't want to do this. What's up, guys? This is Monday Night Raw Review with myself, Generic Minority, and Chase Oliver 68, who, this one's going to be going up a little bit later because Chase couldn't stop laughing about the main event.
Oh, god damn. I haven't laughed that hard in the main event since Tito Ortiz's debut.
You want to know what's messed up? Is we're going to talk about it in a second. Tito Ortiz coming out, folding his arms, saying he doesn't know what he's there for, but he's there for something, made more sense.
Oh, god damn,
The
dude.
day Tito Ortiz coming in, saying, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here for a reason, making more sense than your main event of any show, that was literally the worst thing you could possibly do on TV. Until tonight, completely out of control.
Oh, god.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I got a couple of stuff here real quick. Like, well, what did I want with that? Like, what was the point?
We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
Chase can't stop laughing.
I'm sorry, people. If you guys don't know, I have a sick mind when it comes to wrestling. Like I laugh at things that people get pissed off about. Because I feel laughter is much more important than always just being angry and pissed off all the time. So. Oh, god damn, dog.
Oh, man.
Oh.
This thing's going to be like an hour and 40 minutes of Chase laughing.
Oh god, okay, I'm breathing now. Let me take a swig of water. I think we're good. Ah! What a go home show. That's all I gotta say.
This Raw was literally, it was a go home Raw, you're drunk show. Nothing but nothing made any sense and did anything of any importance. Other than the opening segment which made sense, but it didn't do, nothing happened. And when you come off, we said this last week for anyone that saw, what were they going to do for the go home show? Because they did everything. I mean, you had Sting come out and fight the Authority with Randy Orton. What could you do to build these things any farther? And we were right. There's nothing they did. No, they didn't do anything tonight.
Yeah, they didn't really do anything with Sting tonight. Sting actually talked though, which was kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
So that was cool hearing Sting talk for the first time ever. And what was I going to say there? Yeah, Sting talking was cool. I actually liked the opening segment because it was kind of like, I was actually excited for Raw to kick off because I heard Sting was going to open up the show.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm really excited to see Sting open up the show. Like, this is like the first time in a long time where I actually was super excited for a show to, start because it was like going to be the Stinger and Triple H is going to be involved. I felt Stephanie was kind of okay on the mic. It wasn't like the best Stephanie, but it was okay stuff. But I really enjoyed that Triple H didn't get into the ring because it just built up more intensity. They got to the point where they needed, which was the "This is awesome" chant.
Yeah.
So that's really all that matters to me when it came down to it. Like I didn't think it was like it wasn't the best segment ever, like that's for sure. But when it comes down to it's a week before the show and we need something on the show for you guys, it was good enough for me. It's like compared to other shit we saw tonight, man, this was probably like the most well built thing tonight.
Yeah. I mean, initially watching it, I was kind of like, I was thinking of what I said last week. It's like, what are you going to do other than short of having each heel of the storylines, commit crimes? I was upset that there wasn't, especially by the end of the night when nothing happened. I was upset that the two didn't at least kind of like bash, bat, and sledgehammer together really quick. Like, I don't know. I wanted to see something from it, but it was fine. Especially when you get to the end of the show. At least they had some kind of like look, and it wasn't stupid. It was booked fine. Could have done with a. I can always do without Steph. I know other people like her, and she's okay, but I never liked her growing up. I always just thought she comes out all the time and just is a nag, like just an annoying. She's basically Vicky Guerrero, but not as funny to laugh at. To me.
I definitely see that why some people don't really like Stephanie's character, because Steph can come off like sometimes just too condescending, where it's just like to the point where it's just like, all right, Steph. Like I think Steph does a good job with that, where people don't want to hear her talk, but at the same time, it's not like good heel heat. It's more like get the fuck off my TV heel heat type of deal, because like some people probably have wives at home who are bitchy like Stephanie, and they don't want to hear that all the time when they're watching her.
Yeah, I think that's my big beef is like I hear chicks like that all the time, especially where I work. So it's like, all right, Steph. Also, like, Steph really can't talk a lot of the times because she's been in some dirty stuff backstage, and when she opens her mouth, I'm just like, Steph, we all know about you and Macho Man. Stop talking. And that's just me, though. But I mean, she does fine. I can tolerate her, not necessarily tolerate. I can listen to her when she comes out. But I think she's one of those people that only needs to do it every so often and not constantly be coming out talking. She gets the Bray Wyatt effect. It's like, okay, we get it, Steph. You're a terrible person, and I mean, yeah, we get it. Okay, stop. Just stop talking.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying with that.
But, she did. The opening segment was fine. Sting came out, talked. Steph came out, tried to slap him. Sting stopped her because he's awesome. Triple H came out and was like, did he put his hands on you? And Steph, she didn't really play it up, but she was just like, yeah, you grabbed my wrist. And Triple H got mad. They bust out the sledgehammer, but Sting bust out the bat, and they have a nice little stare down. We got the This Is Awesome chance, which is cool. And the segment is fine. I'm not super invested in the match, but I mean, by comparison, they managed to completely. They have more investment in this match for me than the main event does, which it was reversed a couple weeks ago. So
I just want to do the right thing. I mean, they got the right reaction that they needed. Sting worked the mic really, really well, where he gave like the pauses and the moments. Like that's where some superstars don't know how to do is work the microphone like Sting did. Like Sting worked the mic extremely well tonight. I thought where he didn't like over talk. He said what he needed to say, and then he set the fans out.
Yeah, he did a good job, and it's good to see him talk on the mic, and hopefully he's still got decent in-ring work, because he was really crapping the bed over in TNA with those lazy Scorpion death locks, man, where he's like half falling over. So let's just fingers crossed that match is at least worked decent. It's been booked decent. I'm actually mildly interested in seeing what happens. I don't know what they're going to do with Sting after, but other than, I guess, Undertaker, but hopefully they do the whole manager of Raw thing. That'd be cool.
I don't think so. I don't think you should overexpose Sting like that. Sting's cool to see every once in a while. I don't need to see Sting. Like, Sting's like your uncle that you like a lot. It's cool to see him every once in a while, but every time you go over to his house, you're just like, oh, come on, Uncle Chad. I don't need to see you every time.
Hey, listen, I'll see my uncle every day. My uncle's awesome. But I get what you're saying, though. I don't know what they're going to do with him. Just, I guess they'll Brock him. Just have him only come back every now and again, which is fine. He'll probably talk more than Brock, though. Because Brock just stands around with a stubble on. God. You could tell immediately. Before, I know we keep kind of hinting to it, but you could tell immediately how that end segment was going to be. Brock came in with a stubble facial hair, like half grown in certain spots, like he was getting ready to go hunting after Mania, like literally.
Yeah, he's already planning his I'm done with WWE trip for sure.
Yeah,
that shit. He's got that in the bag.
Yeah, he cashed that last paycheck, man. Next, we get the Idiot Fringe with the leftovers from Black History Month, R-Truth, versus Stardust and Luke Harper. It was an okay tag match.
Not gonna lie, did not pay attention one bit during this match. I don't care about the IC title build whatsoever.
No.
So.
You're 100% correct. And how the feud ended, or not ended, went home tonight was a perfect metaphor. We'll talk about it when we get there. But the match was just okay. It was an okay tag match, but you don't really care about the people in it, and you don't really care about the feud it's for. And Bad News Bear was on the mic, but no one cares. R-Truth pinned Stardust, which sucks because, once again, R-Truth is just leftover residue from Black History Month. And they needed someone else to fill in the lineup, and they didn't want to put Axelmania in there for some reason because they're crazy and they want to lose fans and tons of money. But, yeah. So that was the thing that happened. Next, I just want to talk about this really quick because it doesn't bother me so much as catch my attention a lot. We got the Special Olympians who came out after that, and then Renee Young was just like, hey, check out these Special Olympians and the guys who run the company, and everyone gave him a big cheer, and that was cool. But then that's followed by like a Roman Reigns video package, and that just it bothers me from a how you want to build your company standpoint. You want to be like this PG, let's sell toys, let's Special Olympics, blah, 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 blah. Like, I work in a school with special needs kids, and it's just like, the two things don't mix, right? Like, the kids in my school don't understand that the violent stuff Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar does and the violent stuff that Paul Heyman talks about aren't one and the same. So to do that, to kind of be like, look at the kids, WWE cares about the kids. Now watch the Samoan Badass beat people up, bothers me. Like, just from I don't get why you would do something like that standpoint.
Because Roman Reigns can be the one that these little kids ask for. That's why.
Roman Reigns is gonna go to the Special Olympics and just start spearing people.
About the segment was not really like what bothered you when you were saying like, oh, I didn't like how they played that video package afterwards. What bothered me was the fact that like the audience didn't give a fuck like about these people. Like they would pan to the audience to like give a reaction to these kids.
Did you see the guys who were like, there was like a row of guys on their cell phones that they showed on the screen?
Yeah, like I was just like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, okay, I get it. Like these kids are not wrestlers. You probably don't give a fuck about them. But like honestly, you're telling me that like you can't just be respectful and nice and just fucking like give them a standing ovation. Like I felt bad for those kids when they were raising their hands up there and they got a Tito Ortiz reaction, man. They got a straight up Tito reaction.
Listen, here's the difference. People like to give me garbage all the time for being from New York City. And they're like, everyone's so mean out there and blah, blah, blah. We're heartless monsters. We're not shy to that notion. But when there's something to be inspired by, we're all about it. And in Los Angeles, sorry, dude, a lot of people out there are soulless. Like, there is nothing that'll inspire them other than themselves. Just look at Matthew McConaughey. I mean, they just no-sold those kids, and that sucks for them. I tried to ignore that part, but Special Olympians, man, shout out to those guys. I'm looking down my notepad. Oh, next we got some Miz and Mizdow build with Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart are funny.
I don't understand this. Like, how in the blue fuck or like, does WWE not realize? Oh, look at that. We have Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, talking about this. Why isn't this a number one, like a one-on-one match at Mania? Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart are talking about this.
Arguably two of the funniest guys in Hollywood right now and have been for a while. I mean, geez, they were just showing freaking Ballad of Ricky Bobby on Encore for like the past 3 days. So now I'm thinking about Will Ferrell again actively. And Kevin Hart's still Kevin Hart.
Okay, Kevin Hart, he's like in every other movie. Like, you can't go to a movie without seeing like a commercial for Kevin Hart's like next build comedy. No offense, Kevin Hart, I think dude's hilarious when it comes to stand-up, but when it comes to movies, he's not really a home run hitter. Like,
nah, he's like he's got that Bill Cosby syndrome of like being really funny and interesting in one medium, but not being able to transfer over into another.
Yeah, or like there's sometimes in movies where Kevin Hart's like, oh, that was a good role, but it's not like where he's the main character. It's like when Kevin Hart has very little scenes and he's like, like when he was in Scary Movie. Like,
yeah.
Really that was good. Like when he's like the main character, that's when he's not funny. It's like when Kevin Hart's like in a minor role, that's when Kevin Hart shines.
Because Kevin Hart can carry a 1 hour, hour and a half stand up based around stuff that he knows, but he can't carry a 2 hour movie that's stuff written by someone else that he knows nothing about.
Yeah.
And that's, once again, it goes back to you can't carry a certain formula, but it's whoa, you alright there?
Yeah, I'm good.
But, and so you have Kevin Hart out there who was on Raw not so long ago as the guest host, and they wasted him then. Now they waste him again, and they waste him alongside Will Ferrell, one of the funniest guys out right now. And I'm not going to lie, for a long time, Will Ferrell was basically like Mike Myers to me. It was like, okay, he's funny, but he's not that funny. Will Ferrell, however, has withstood the test of time in my eyes. He was actually relatively okay in Bewitched, but the remake thing that kind of sucked. But he was okay in it. And Step Brothers is hilarious, and Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Everything that Will Ferrell's done recently is really, really funny. And they're talking to Miz and Mizdow, and they're talking to Mizdow, and they're like, yeah, this guy's got the look. And Will Ferrell's being kind of like, on-spot funny, improv. And it's just kind of like, oh, check the interview on WWE.com. It's like, no, show me the rest of the interview, and also give Miz and Mizdow their own match. And also, why has Mizdow not Alex Riley the Miz already? He should have did that. And then that could set up for them inside. If you have to have them in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, jeez, that is still a mouthful. See, I can't even use words. You at least could have, like, what is it going to accomplish if you just have him get super hype and throw him out of the Battle Royal and then get thrown out by, like, Ryback or Axelmania? Why are you wasting? Why are you going to waste it? I mean, WWE just had to, I'm assuming, just drop Stardust versus Goldust because who cares now? They wasted it for a year. They can't waste it another year. So just threw in this IC title match where there is no winner. And now they're going to waste Miz and Mizdow so they can have a guaranteed match that people will watch for the next pay-per-view because they figure, well, people are going to watch Mania anyway, so we don't need to put on decent matches or things that people would be invested in. We'll save that for another pay-per-view when no one will care. Like some throwaway pay-per-view, like they're bringing back Bad Blood for 1 year to after Mania. I don't even know what the next pay-per-view after Mania is. Chase, I don't know if you know.
Extreme Rules, I believe.
Thank you. I remember for the longest time, the one after Mania would always be different. It was like Backlash, and then it was also like Breaking Point. It was weird.
No, it was always just Backlash, and then I think 1 year was Unforgiven.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one after that always
yeah.
changes. The second pay-per-view.
I want to say it's Backlash. It was when they adopted the 12 pay-per-view format, it became Backlash.
You're right. You are 100% right. So yeah, they're like, okay, so we need it for Extreme Rules, but it's just like they could still have a match at Extreme Rules. I mean, WWE has a weird thing of like booking things that don't matter like they matter, and things that do matter like they don't. Like people are actually invested in the Miz and Mizdow, so they book it like, yeah, we know that's a thing, but really, check out Orton versus Rollins. Check out Cena versus Rusev. Check out all these great main event players. Like, listen, not all the time do we want to always see main event players. We want to get actually, not just because they're main event. Names shouldn't always have to carry the match. I should be emotionally invested in the story. And with Miz and Mizdow, I am. So why not do it? No. Gotta put him in the Battle Royal. There are two. They just had Zack Ryder in the ring later on the night. I can guarantee you can find some jobbers.
I wasn't paying attention to that one match, but then I saw Ryder. I was like, the fuck, he's still wrestling?
Yeah, like you can't. You're telling me you can't throw two different jobbers into that match that or not jobbers, but at least like some Heath Slater's back on the roster. He's gonna get bumped out. So like, there are some people that are on that roster. Some NXT guys, maybe you want to put them in the match to help get them.
Well, they are putting NXT dudes in the Battle Royale. Apparently, they're doing Battle Royale. Thing. Yeah.
Well, somebody get Kevin Steen in there, and
actually the tournament is Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Adrian Neville, and Sami Zayn.
Oh, that's cool.
And Kevin Steen, I believe he's out for a while. He what's it called? Injured himself, or he got injured.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Sadly.
Yeah, that really does suck. I like Kevin Steen. I hope he doesn't.
He's gonna be back soon, but he's like out.
Yeah. But you never want to see a guy out, especially when you like. At least in my case, but you never want to see a guy. You never want to see a guy hurt. Like the one Uso got hurt, and we were actually like, "Oh no, we don't want to see the Uso out." Especially after the night. But yeah, so we had the Miz and Mizdow, and then we got some build for we got a 10-man tag match to promote Bill Simmons. I mean, the Battle Royal, and Ryback beat the Miz. That's all that was all the build. It was Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, Zack Ryder and Ryback and someone else who I can't remember right now versus Miz, Mizdow, Adam Rose, and some other people I can't remember. And all that mattered is that Bill was on the mic, and that was relatively interesting. And they were really kind of Florida Georgia lining it and making him seem like he was more important than the match itself, and he was. So I'm glad they promoted him. And then the Battle Royal, they showed the Battle Royal trophy, so that's a thing. Moving on. Next, we got Orton versus Seth Rollins and J&J Security. Orton beat Jamie Noble.
Yeah, this was the right booking. Like they did the right thing here booking wise, but it was like kind of like it left you with wanting more. Where it's just like, and not more in a good way. Where like, oh, I can't wait till Mania. It was like you could have done something more here to end off this segment for tonight. You know, it just felt like there should have been something else added. I can't really explain it. That's how weird it was.
No, I get what you're saying. It could have even been something as simple. It's like that match could have happened a little bit later, and instead, like while the voting process is going, you just see Orton backstage beating up all his potential opponents except for Seth Rollins, so that like if the votes came out some other way, because you know WWE likes to rig the votes every now and again, he'd automatically have to step in the ring with Seth Rollins, and you know, or Seth Rollins and JJ Security come out for the save or something. Like there's just some stuff he could have did. They just kind of like threw it in your lap, you know, just out of nowhere. That's what that was like for me. They're just like
like what you just said. Yeah, that would be perfect for what you would want to do for this show. So like that's what I felt like was missing. There was like something missing from the show for the feud tonight to make me a little bit more interested. Like I'm so interested in Seth Rollins and Randy Orton. I think it's one of the better feuds heading into Mania. It's just that tonight it just felt like, hey, you could have done a little bit more with this.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that they could have did more, but I mean, I guess you don't want to. You already had the two step in the ring, and they've got their match. Technically, it's a match more for the redemption of Seth Rollins than it is Orton's revenge, because he already got his revenge. You beat him up for like 20 minutes. So it's just like, what else can you do but have Seth be a scumbag, and that's fine, and have the freaking J&J Security take the pin, but it could have been worse. They could have done a lot worse. So let's just let that one be a bye.
It wasn't bad. It was good. Like, it was the right thing. Like, Seth Rollins and Randy Orton did not interact inside the ring. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree 110%, and you're also still right about the extra thing, but I'm just kind of tossing it up to, well, WWE didn't ruin the feud like they did for another quote-unquote main event tonight, so I can live with it.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Just they didn't mess it up. There was no like tug of war tonight with Orton and Seth. It was just like
tug of war. I'll never look at that game the same way again.
I'll never look at that title. I'll never look at those two. I'll never play tug of war. Never. Nothing ever involving. I'll never pull like a rope to lift something. Like I can't do it. Jeez. So next we get, and this was something that was referenced earlier in the night, we get Nikki versus Paige for the Divas title. Nikki won because AJ Lee got infected with the Idiot Fringes virus and somehow became like a less aware diva and like wound up like punching Paige in the face, which I get that like she came out to the ring with her, but does that not constitute a DQ? Like,
yeah,
wouldn't that make some?
I don't get it. Like, isn't that normally like a DQ?
Yeah, I mean, like I get that she quote unquote just came out to the ring with her, but I mean that was like the big crux back in the JBL versus Shawn Michaels feud. Was that JBL came out and Shawn Michaels followed behind him, and like if he wanted to have a match end a certain way, Shawn Michaels. I remember at the one point where he slapped him and got the DQ win for JBL. So it's just like, wouldn't that have made more sense as to why Paige would have been mad, not the fact that she got hit and then hit again by Nikki and then beat like technically clean? It would be the whole DQ win but still no title.
I totally agree. Like, wouldn't there be more of a reason for Paige to be mad over DQ them losing to Nikki 1-2-3 clean, and also it was just kind of like, you know, they kind of blew like this feud doesn't have any interest. Like this whole notion of what they did tonight did not make me say, oh, I can't wait to see the Divas wrestle. Look, I know these Divas can wrestle in the ring. There's no denying that for me. I can clearly see there's talent in the Diva division. I'm just saying, like, Divas aren't interesting.
There's nothing to be. Oh, excuse me. Yawning. There's nothing to be interested in with them because it's like, one, this match isn't for the title. Two, it's a Divas tag match. And three, it's just like nothing has been built to make me care other than the fact that you're like, hashtag give Divas a chance, and then giving them like, instead of 2-minute matches, 5-minute matches. What is that? Because some hashtag floated around and you doubled the time they spend in the ring. That's a like, mind you, they've done nothing else to kind of promote the Divas division. Hashtag give Divas a chance to come out with Snoop Lion, but. What, like, these are the only Divas you're promoting right now, and you still haven't really done anything with them, and everything just kind of feels like it's on repeat, because the Bellas are just, at least they're not on the mic right now, but they're just still doing the same, like, you know, lay cool, we're catty, girls thing, and then Paige and AJ are still doing the whole frenemies thing, and it's just like, it's kind of just copy-pasted, and then on top of that, they're not doing anything unique. It's like, oh, it's a Divas tag match at Mania with the 4 top Divas, and it's like, I don't care. Why would I care? If it was like a Fatal 4 Divas ladder match, maybe, I don't know, something.
That wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't, but you know, I want, like, give me something. Don't try to, like, what they're doing is basically being like, you know, it's like your girl, like we said a couple weeks ago, it's like when your girl buys a new outfit and it's talking about you're going to get all this new stuff, and it's like, it's the same thing in a different outfit. You know, it's just like, you're trying to tell me how great it is, but it's just the same thing, just with a different packaging around it. It's the same type of Divas matches, which are decent ones, it's just a couple minutes longer. It's not anything new, innovative, or something like that. You can do something. Maybe make this match like some kind of stipulation, something. Don't promote it like it has all these things that it doesn't have. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just say, like, I just say, like, they don't really do much with them anyways. Like that's why I don't understand why people are trying to, like, say, like, they're giving them a chance, because they're not, like, giving them a chance at all. They're just being idiots out there.
Yeah, that's it. They're just fighting. Basically, what they're making them do is look like stupid women, where they just sit around and fight all the time instead of going out and winning match. Like, they're not focusing on, like, even the simple, like, announcing of the match. They were like, oh, Nikki gave one of them a chance, but they have to choose. It's just like, they're like, oh, of course, no woman ever wants to see another one succeed. They've got to argue about it and be catty and eyeball each other dirty, like, all the time. It's like, that, granted, it happens a lot, but it doesn't happen all the time. So why are we promoting it like that? I don't know. The whole hashtag give Divas a chance. If you really believe in that, and I also believe in that too, to give them a chance, but hey, they also somebody's gotta bring something to the table, whether it's them or WWE. They can't have a chance. You can't just say hashtag give. You can't get a hashtag going and then think that that's gonna be what makes it go over. You know, like, it just doesn't work, you guys. You guys gotta put more effort than that, other than hashtag give. This isn't good enough. If you're gonna do the hashtag give Divas a chance, they gotta be, you know, they're not Trish Stratus and Lita's territory yet. They're not. That's just a fact. Paige and AJ are not anywhere near those women at all. Paige and AJ aren't really even that close to Mickie James. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not really even that close to Michelle McCool, and some people will try to say like she's really not that good, but she actually is pretty decent. So when their feud and what's going on with them is not on the level of Lay Cool versus Mickie James, don't expect me to believe. I definitely don't believe it's anywhere near Lita and Trish Stratus, and don't you dare try to tell me that it is, or that they're getting a chance and this is going to be the new era and it's going to bring back. No, it's not. They're going to keep doing the same old thing. So long as Total Divas exist, they're going to keep doing the same old thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason why AJ Lee is in this feud is because they needed a way to put her in there, and she's not on Total Divas. If they had a way to put her on Total Divas, this feud would be even worse. But they don't want Phil Brooks on TV anymore. So, moving on. Snoop Lion comes out, and at first I don't care until Axelmania came out. And I was like, sweet, Axelmania is running wild. He's a funny guy. And then Hulk Hogan came out. And they just trounced Axelmania, tossed him out the ring, and then you see Snoop Lion in a Hulk t-shirt flexing his, like, twig arms. It was pretty funny. I like Snoop Dogg. Love Axelmania. And I think Hulk, you know, a lot of people were saying, like, we just buried him. It's like, nah, not really.
Yeah, they didn't bury him. It's like, if I'm Curtis Axel, they tell me, like, hey, we're going to put you in this segment with Hulk Hogan and Snoop Dogg, I'm going to be like, okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that. If I'm Curtis Axel and I know where my career is going, it's just like, I'll take that. I mean, people said the same thing about Rusev and The Rock, but it's just like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's not a burial. It's only a burial when some guy, like, it'd have been a burial had it, like, what happened with Dean Ambrose, like, just, or what happened with the Garbage Man at Mania, like, you know, just some guy who's on the same level as you, just taking you out for no reason, or with Cena. Those are burials. But when some, like, legend or returner comes out, or a guest, and you get no bro with them, that's different. That's, you know, that's putting you in the spotlight. I mean, but people always misconstrue burial with just, like, that guy's not in the main event right now. That guy's not holding every title in the world around his waist like he's Ultimo Dragon. You know, like, it's a fine line. And for the most part, when WWE does it right, they do it really right. And this was fine. It was fun.
This wasn't bad. I liked it. I thought it was good humor. Yeah, so I thought this was a fun segment. This is what more shows need, are fun segments like this, where it's like not always so serious. It can just like a legend return, or you know, like with the current superstar. Those are always fun. They need more of these fun segments. You know, this wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, and I know like a lot of other people too harp on the fact that, like, all they do is bring out guests and returners to help with the show. But listen, hey, man, that's what works, dude. Act like the Throwback Raw is not one of the, like, your favorites.
You know what's funny? These people that complain, like, all they do is bring back returning old guys. We could have put you younger talent. You're the same motherfuckers who will mark out when these old guys return. Like, you guys are the same people that were cheering when Bubba Ray Dudley came out at the Rumble. So stop.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, if you went out, and mind you, I hated every minute of that, even though I love Bubba. Everything he did in TNA as Bully Ray was amazing to me. Even when it was supposed to be, like, you know, when it was getting boring and kind of old hat, I still liked him as Bully Ray. For him to come back and no Devon, and him just to use, once again, Mr. Leftover Black History Month, R-Truth, as just a copy-paste black guy, and then there was no table, that was just terrible. So, don't give me that guff about you know, all they do is returners and then mark out at Mania, or start getting, who's going to come back, you know, oh, you know, this so-and-so's coming back, CM Punk's coming back, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Just shut your mouth. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you really are going to complain about returners coming back and helping guys, at least trying to help guys get over, I mean, it makes sense that Axelmania would finally have a confrontation with Hulkamania before Mania. So what are you complaining about? Nothing. That's what. You're just complaining to be complaining because nothing ever makes you happy. Next, speaking of complaining to complain, we get the IWC. That's what I call Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. We get the IWC versus Los Matadores and El Dorito. Oh, Natty's also on their side too, because it's a interspecies 6-creature tag match.
This match right here just shows that they're not going to give these a chance. I mean, Natty just lost to a fucking midget.
Yeah, there's no way to slice that. And mind you, that phrase I just said, 6-creature interspecies tag match, was easily the most politically correct thing I've ever said, because it's very non-specific. And she lost to a midget. Natty Neidhart, Natalia Neidhart, daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, lost, mind you, while she's dressed in all leather with spiked gloves and everything, lost to a midget dressed like a bull. Think about that, people. I'm gonna let that sink in.
And then later on in the night, they made her look like a fat ass because she was like eating chicken fries for Burger King.
Oh yeah, the Burger King. So they make her look like an idiot and a fatty at the same time, because she thinks Tyson's talking to her while he's got his Beats by Dre on and he's eating Burger King chicken fries. And she comes out and doesn't want him to speak while she eats fries and like moans and groans and climaxes over how great they are. And so that's great. Yeah, just make her look like an idiot, like she can't wrestle because she's losing to midgets dressed like bulls. Make her look like... They're just trying to make Natty look ridiculous. I think they're just... Honestly, this is Vince's, like, screw job part 2. Just... If he can't get Brett back, he's got to destroy the Neidhart family. He's got to destroy the Harts some way, somehow. Because, I don't know. Vince holds a grudge, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why this is happening with Natty. I mean, I guess I know why, but I don't know why. Doesn't need to be. And where's Natty's hashtag give Divas a chance? She doesn't get one? No, nothing for Natty? That's fine. Just keep her dressed in leather. I do like the leather look, though. Anyway. Next, and this segment irritated me so much after Bad News Barrett opened his mouth. Kane comes to take Bad News Barrett's title from him because he's like, we gotta hoist the title above the ring. One, why? Why is he coming to take his title from him before... I know why and how it results later, but why a week before the match at Mania is he taking his title away from him? 2, Bad News Barrett mentions very casually that he has not had the title in his possession for 6 weeks. That's a month and a half, people. Think about that for a minute. Bad News Barrett is having the title taken away from him by Kane, and he mentions casually that he hasn't had it in 6 weeks. Why would I care? Oh, you stuck Daniel Bryan in the match. Oh, you stuck Dolph Ziggler in the match. I still don't care. Oh, look, hashtag give black people a chance. You put R-Truth in the match. I don't care. Hey, it's Bad News Barrett. He hasn't done a Bad News anything in months, so that's cool. And he hasn't had the title in a month and a half. He even said it himself. Had he not said that at all, I might not even been as upset. I would have been irritated that they're taking the title from him again, and I would have remembered something along the lines of him not having the title for 6 weeks. But there wouldn't have been such a specific number in my head. I'd have been like, he hasn't had that title for like a month, or, he hasn't had it for a couple weeks now. He just got it back. But no, he said it himself. Somebody wrote that down on a piece of paper, gave that to Wade Barrett, told him to say it, and then he said it out of his mouth hole. Think about that, people. Why would I care about their ladder match? Because it's a ladder match? Ooh, it's like Money in the Bank. No, it's not.
It's like a man's Money in the Bank, man. This is worse than the Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank means something. You win that, you get a guaranteed contract and all this other stuff. You win this, you get the IC title. Good luck with that shit.
Then once again, this is the match that I said last week is going to be the worst match at Mania, because no matter who wins, everyone loses in this match. If you lose the match, you're a loser. If you win the match, you're holding the IC title, which means you're holding a title that doesn't matter. Seeing as how the champion hasn't had the title for 6 weeks, and at one point had a tiny replica of it because it was switched by Mr. Black History Month R-Truth. Mr. Black guy with black tattoos that are almost the same color as his skin, R-Truth.
Okay. R-Truth is weird. You don't notice his tattoos.
Mr. 43-year-old black guy who keeps getting black tattoos on his black body. I will say that he is surprisingly agile for 40-something years old, though. And not being in the ring for so long, at least not on TV for so long. He's still pretty good. But at least in dexterity and whatnot.
He's in great shape in general.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%. It's surprising to find that he's like, he's no Austin Aries or anything like that, but to be around the same age and still relatively mobile and, pretty decently mobile and whatnot, that's pretty good. That's impressive. I appreciate the fact that R-Truth is at least very much dedicated to being in a good ring condition. It sucks that they have no reason or don't use him.
But then again, he's probably also buffed because R-Truth has been to prison 3 different times or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So he's probably buffed naturally from being in prison for so long.
Maybe. I don't know. He would probably be a lot like...
There is such thing as prison buff, guys. If you guys ever meet someone that goes to prison and is gone for a year or two, once they come back, they are super jacked.
Because you have nothing to do but work out all day. You have nothing to do but work out all day.
Yeah, exactly. You have nothing to do but work out and just chill. And then when you're not working out, you're most likely doing some work for the prison because you're like working for the kitchen or doing something of that nature.
Yeah. Most of the time, though, I will say R-Truth clearly does something else other than be prison buff because it's the mobility that he has. He clearly, most guys in prison don't work their legs. That's just a thing. I don't know why. It's all upper body with them, you know. So, he clearly does something. Maybe yoga. Maybe he does DDP yoga. So yeah, we have Bad News Barrett gets the title taken away. That segment's only important because it sets up for the title to be hanging above the ring for Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan later in the night. But that's not important. What is important is Rusev versus Swagger for the 13th time.
Oh God! Like, is this literally like the one? Because like, I'm pretty sure Rusev has some cool backstage where he can choose who he wants to face. Is he like, yeah, just give me Jack Swagger. I like working with this guy.
Maybe. I don't even think he says anything. I think they got that dude who's like Czechoslovakian Elton John to be the one that books his matches because it doesn't make any sense. To make a long story short, Rusev has met Swagger in a match like 8 times and beat him every single time. Now, this is the thing. People don't pick up on a lot of subtle stuff in WWE. When Jack Swagger came down to the ring, Michael Cole said him facing Rusev has become an obsession since Rusev badmouthed America. Now, that line is important. I need you guys to hold on to that. Remember that Jack Swagger is obsessed with beating Rusev because of his disrespect to America. That implies that, one, Jack Swagger, as representation of America, gets obsessed with something despite losing, and is a sore loser. Can't just bow out gracefully, which is forced upon with everything that has happened with John Cena. Now, the match in and of itself is a standard Rusev Swagger match. Rusev makes Swagger pass out, but this time, unlike any other time in the past, apparently, Cena comes out for the save and brawls with Rusev. Rusev beats up Cena, puts him in the Acolyte. Yes, I'm going to continue to call it the Acolyte, not the Accolade, because Cena's the one that botched that line. He puts him in the Acolyte on top of the announce table and makes him pass out. Now, another thing you guys need to pick up on is Lana wasn't out there. Lana wasn't out there because Lana is the one that tells him when to break the hold. And without her out there, it's supposed to let you think that Rusev is completely unstoppable because he's like Jet Li in that movie where he's like, you know, a dog with Bob Hoskins and, you know, he has no leash. Like, you take the leash off him and now, or the collar off him, and now he's just an insane animal that even apparently a bunch of grown men in striped outfits can't stop. But I'd like to point out that Rusev,
But really, why Lana isn't there? Because she's filming a WWE film studio with Edge.
Yeah, well, that's why she's not there. But the what you're supposed to, jeez, with Edge, I didn't know she was doing it with Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy Adam Copeland. So that's what you're supposed to be getting from it, but that's not what's going on. But even more importantly, Rusev does this to Cena because Cena did it to him 2 weeks ago. Now, why is that important, you ask? Well, because Rusev, quote-unquote, is the heel. Cena is the face. Yet, Cena has attacked and beat down Rusev more times than Rusev has done to him. The first time Rusev attacked Cena, he beat him down, he bashed his head off the Titantron, left. The referee stopped him. The next week, apparently refs don't know how to stop anybody, and Cena beats down Rusev tenfold. Refs don't stop him because Cena said, "Don't stop me," and he's Cena, so don't stop him. Or at least he's one of the Cena machines that pretends to be Cena. I'm definitely going to edit that bit in where we talk about John Cena being a robot. Right now. John Cena can never be booked like a human, though. John Cena needs to be booked like John Cena the guy.
I honestly think he is a robot, though, sometimes. Because, like...
Remember, he was Prototype, man. Of course he's a robot.
Yeah, no, because I honestly do sometimes because like he kind of acts like a robot, like just in general. Like if you ever met John Cena, he's kind of very, very like I don't know how to say it. He's smart with his words. He's very intelligent, and then like of like
they seem like they're pre-programmed.
And you won't get any personality from him. He's just kind of like always laid back. Like go on WWE's YouTube. It's like Cena's looking through like the Google Vision thing. Like anyone else that I've seen reactions for, they're like, "Oh, he's just so sick." Cena no sells it. Cena acts like this is nothing new to him. Like he's a robot. He sees through this every day. He doesn't know what the fuck is so cool about this. Like Cena's like, yeah, this is pretty cool, awesome. Yeah, like I don't know. He could be a robot. This is a theory we're gonna have to break down.
I think he's the same robot that they used when they kidnapped the original Black Michael Jackson.
No, it was the same robot that they used when they were trying to test.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Stop hitting the nail on the head, Chase. There's not going to be any more nails to hit.
Nails was also a robot that betrayed Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't know. I think they just manufacture certain guys like the cast of the
first Terminator.
Yeah.
I think the first or second Terminator was based off Nails and Vince McMahon backstage.
Probably second.
If you guys don't know that incident, apparently Nails punched Vince in the face, and Nails like he's only famous for people is playing the fake Undertaker.
Yeah. Vince is a solid dude. I heard like you always hear stuff about him like just bullying guys around the locker room. And you're like, I'd beat that old man up, but then you see him and you're like, oh god, I can't beat that old man up. But Cena is definitely like some kind of weird artificial intelligence. He's like that. What was that show with that kid who was like a clone with no belly button? He's just like a weird like robotic clone of like they just Kyle XY. Thank you. I knew it was some XY. I think they honestly just print off Cena's. He's like Mila Jovovich in the Resident Evil movies. He's just like a stoic.
That makes sense. Well, Cena can have all these injuries that like should like take you off the shelf, but he comes back to them like they're nothing. Like because like you notice when someone's injured because look at Daniel Bryan after his neck surgery and look at how much more skinnier he is, and then Cena after his neck surgery he still looks the same, and there's like no lip like. There's no lip in John Cena either when it comes down to his injuries. Like, he has scars, but, like, he suffered these injuries to the point, and he, like, no-sells them.
Yeah. And that could just be him, but I honestly think they just print off Cena's when they get broken, like, new ones, and then they just, like, oh, wait, he had a scar on the back of his neck from a surgery. Make sure you put that on there when you re-clone him. It's like that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, The Sixth Day. It's like, one day, the actual John Cena showed up, did his eye exam, and they gave him, they scanned his DNA, and then now they just print off Cena's without his permission while he's, like, stuck in a basement somewhere.
All the other Cena they're just chilling in like WWE's secret headquarters.
Yeah, it's just like each other. When he showed up to do that match with Kurt Angle when he was screaming about ruthless aggression, then they printed him off. The Undertaker shook his hand and that was actually stealing some of his DNA, and then that actual ruthless aggression Cena is trapped in the WWE archives with like the original or the old IC title and the women's championship. He's just down there.
Yeah. See, that original Cena and the Cena that tore his pectoral muscle and the Cena that broke his neck are all somewhere chilling out. The golf ball Cena is still around. The Cena with the elbow injury, that Cena is still around in this universe.
That's the same Cena that we see on TV. The golf ball elbow, that's the same Cena. But don't worry, once this one,
we just broke your guy. We just blew your people's minds. You guys are now thinking, holy shit, John Cena maybe is a robot.
Maybe he is. Maybe they do just print out a bunch of John Cena T1000s every now and again when he gets broken.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like one day when like the world's ending, Vince is like, "Go, John," and then later on we just hear this big, and then like this whole arena explodes and a bunch of John Cenas come out. And they just do their Cena run, stopping tornadoes and
shit. They all come out doing the 5-knuckle shuffle. They're just like Vince McMahon. They're just screaming hustle to loyalty, respect, and just waving their hands in front of their face. And we're like, we have no defense for it because in like Americans with guns, we're like, we can't kill them, and they just keep waving their hand in their face. It's crazy.
They're not trying to harm us. They're trying to help us in a friendly way.
They're trying to help us in a friendly way, but I don't want him to. But he keeps trying to help me. It's really weird. He keeps talking about getting my kid Fruity Pebbles. It's not creepy, but it's still creepy. You know what I mean? He's a good guy, but it's creepy. But moving on. So Cena Machine beats up Rusev. Now Rusev says, "I don't want to match with you. They have the match. He wins. That's it." Cena, once again representing America, is obsessed and a sore loser. No matter how you lost, and now feels the need to beat down Rusev, and this is retaliation for what Cena did to him. How is Cena still the face? 2, how is Cena supposed to represent America when, and everyone who's faced off against Rusev so far, especially with the way Cena is going, with us being America being represented as some kind of great nation, all we've been represented as is losers, sore losers, and violent.
Yeah, and assholes.
That, yep.
We're not good people.
Yeah, we're supposed to be. They even have the point of making JBL side with whoever the face is, despite being a heel commentator, because it's America, and still.
I know this is random as hell, but like, remember when JBL was like Team Rusev because Rusev was helping the Authority? Like, that was just so stupid.
I feel sometimes. Do you ever just like, Chase? I know you get this feeling. You ever just feel like you're the only person thinking?
Yeah.
That's what goes on whenever I watch. Like, this happens to me in life, but that's what happens when I watch WWE. I always feel like I'm, other than Chase and a handful of other people I follow on the internet, are the only people that are thinking. Like, I refuse to believe, especially because it's a fair amount of people I see on the internet who do videos that are actually thinking. I can think of at least 4, other than us, and it always seems like. And if WWE is supposed to be keeping an eye on the people on the internet and things like that, how could they not think this stuff? It's either 1, they're not thinking, or 2, they're actively going against what makes sense. I suspect it's the latter. Because nothing makes sense. But nevertheless, Rusev made Cena pass out, which is going to be even more irritating when Cena wins the title. So then you can have Cena and Daniel Bryan both being the mid-card champions, and then they can be like, "See, look, the titles matter. Shut up, IWC." Yeah, that's what that's for, people. If you didn't figure that out, that's what that's for. It's to shut, quote-unquote, us up. It doesn't shut me up. I'm still going to complain. I'm even going to complain about Daniel Bryan. But, you know, that's a thing that happened. So Rusev can't be tamed. He's like a Miley Cyrus song, and Cena's becoming Rocky at Mania. Next, what do we have? Oh, Jesus Christ. We got Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, he got the same shit. Fuck him. I'm done. I'm done with Bray Wyatt. If you guys do just watch my reviews, just know that I'm never going to take anything he says seriously right now. Even if he does beat Taker, I'm still going to mock him and shit.
I want to point something out about, once again, maybe I'm reading too deep into this. 1, I don't know why Bray Wyatt said he thinks he's God now, but he talked a lot and he said he's going to be a new God. Apparently he's like in the Greco-Roman Jeez, Chase.
I just cough a lot, man, especially when I laugh really hard. That's when I cough.
You strained your lungs, dude. You're going to die when we start talking about the main event, which is coming up soon. Oh.
I'm going to die one day, so it don't matter.
Wow.
If I die now, at least I die laughing at something that was hilarious, you know?
Yeah, true that. But so Bray is supposed to be the face of fear, and yada yada yada, and super evil eater words, eater of worlds. Jeez, I'm thinking about Metal Gear. Awesome. Here's the thing: when you really look at how this is being built, Bray actually sucks. And is a super weak persona, and this whole thing is a facade, because he's only, if you listen to what he's saying, he's only going to face The Undertaker because The Undertaker lost and is therefore weaker. By extension, Bray believes that he was not strong enough to beat The Undertaker beforehand. Therefore, Bray is weak. Therefore, Bray sucks. Therefore, Bray doesn't matter, and the only person he's managed to beat is the idiot Fringe, who doesn't know how anything works, and is not an omnipotent dark force, but is also a loser as well. But Bray Wyatt is going to be the new face of fear, and Bray Wyatt is going to be a god among other gods. because he's gonna beat a weak old man who he said is a weak old man. That'd be like me going, I'm gonna be the new patriarch of my family as I go beat up my 60-year-old grandfather.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're still beating up an old person.
Yeah.
You're not better a human being. I thought we were taught as kids, respect our elders, not beat them up.
Yeah. And here's the thing, people may be like, well, it's The Undertaker, his character, blah, blah, blah. Even if you take it from his character...
No, his character's supposed to be some immortal dead man. Like, he's not supposed to have age. You're supposed to be mystified by this dude. Like, calling him old and shit does not make me, like, say, like, oh, this Undertaker's really cool. Make me say, like, oh, he's like everyone else. You know?
Having Bray, especially with Taker not talking and not showing up at all, which usually he at least shows up once, but apparently he didn't want to for Bray, which is once again another signifying of Bray, how they feel about Bray's character. They didn't even have Taker show up for the Go Home show. He'll probably show up on SmackDown. You have this where The Undertaker's supposed to be the dead man, immortal, just can't be stopped. Doesn't matter how old he gets or how many times you see him at Mania, he's always just going to be an unstoppable force of whatever, not necessarily evil, but darkness. And then you have Bray saying that he's old and he's weak and all this other good stuff. How does that make Bray look strong? How does that make Undertaker look strong? Because Bray says he's old and weak. Then when he shows up and he's not old and weak, oh look, see, he wasn't old and weak. I knew it all along. But even on that end, Bray is only interested in fighting him because he thinks he's old and weak. Why was he not interested in beating him when he was at his max power and therefore could garner more of the quote-unquote spirits that he apparently controls via the guy flipping the light switch in the production van? Why, if he can just get the urn, and apparently the urn doesn't control the Undertaker anymore. Apparently the urn also changes colors now. I forgot last week it was red and gold for some reason. Or maybe he stole that urn from someone else. How come, WWE, do you even think, this was the Go Home show, and nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, if they were going to do this whole urn segment that one time, they should have saved it for tonight. When Undertaker actually finally spoke. Like, if you're going to do this storyline where Undertaker was not going to show up till Mania, you might as well have just done that urn segment tonight instead of do it, blow your load on it 2 weeks ago, because then at least there would be kind of some excitement, like, oh, Taker's going to be there type of deal,
It looks like, honestly, from the way that it's going, especially after what you just said, that Bray's gonna go out there and Undertaker's just not gonna come out. He's gonna show up via satellite, hanging out with Michelle McCool at his house and being like, nah, I changed my mind. I think I'm just gonna go finish being a contractor and building motorcycles. See you later, Bray. And then just turn the TV off.
Comes out, and he comes out on a motorcycle, and he's all like, keep rolling.
He's gonna come out to Kid Rock, remember?
Yeah, American Badass. Who can forget that? That was one of the most terrible gimmicks ever.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But it at least felt like it was how Undertaker was in his free time. But so he could come out like that on a motorcycle and clearly just not care about being the dead man. I would love it if he literally, because he hasn't showcased really having any powers. If he just came out like American Badass Undertaker and just like, oh yeah, the powers thing, yeah, I don't do that anymore. Honestly, I could see that where this feud's going. Like, Bray goes, just sees him and he's just dressed like a normal dude. And he's like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't know who sent you that message, but, I'm an old man now. I would honestly love that. I would like that better if Undertaker was just like, I don't care. If he just came out and Bray was like, you're fighting me. And he's like, no. See you later.
Fine. I'm done.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's the next segment? I just got to make sure I know, because I'm going to get water when we talk about Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler, because I don't care about this.
It's Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler.
All right, well, I'll be right back. Generic Minority over here will take over the show. Just know Vince McMahon gave us what we wanted. He gave us Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Damn it.
Wait for Chase's door to close. Or his door just open. He walked out. I'm going to level with you guys. I'm going to get really close to the microphone, okay? Daniel Bryan versus Nikki Nemeth. Sorry, Dolph Ziggler. Doesn't matter. Now, I understand that a lot of you like Daniel Bryan. I understand that a lot of you like Dolph Ziggler. I also like those guys. It was a solid match. But, here's the thing. I'm a little bit perplexed as to why it matters. It doesn't matter. It never mattered. This thing with the IC title is honestly the worst thing, especially going into Mania. I'm seriously on the hashtag Cancel Mania bandwagon. Like, harder than I was last week. I don't even want you to get like I want the bandwagon to crash into whatever this Stadium Mania is going to be in. Dolph Ziggler versus Nikki Nemeth doesn't have to happen. Oh, sorry, the special guest referee, which you got to vote for online in a very unbiased ballot and voting system. The winner was the Idiot Fringe, who apparently now knows how being a ref works.
Yeah, no, Dean Ambrose figured that out. I was surprised. He could actually count. I'm not really, guys, I'm back, but I'm not going to be talking too much during this because, honestly, like, what's there to talk about? It's Daniel Bryan and Ziggler.
It was it's a solidly worked match, but it doesn't matter. Why are these two guys being promoted as the two top guys fighting, or in the top three guys vying for a title that has been being passed around like hot potato or the local classroom whore for 6 weeks? Why?
Makes sense, damn it. Don't you like it? You're not sports entertained. I'm giving you what you want, people, damn it.
Chase's Vince voice is so on point right now.
Piece of shit. I appreciate what I'm giving you. I'm giving you guys what you deserve. You don't tell me what you like. I tell you what you like, damn it. And I'm telling you right now, what I am doing is best for business. What I am doing with WrestleMania this Sunday is a masterpiece.
I wish.
And that's literally what Vince thinks in his head. He literally believes.
I really, truly wish you weren't right. He clearly thinks that. He's clearly a delusion. If you didn't listen to that Austin podcast with him, he's clearly delusional. And is not a liar. He just thinks he's right. Like women. They don't lie. They actually think...
No, there's a difference. You think you're right, but you're not. I know I'm right. It's all in the money.
Jeez. So, here's what the most important part of this match was for me. One, I don't know why Dolph won. Dolph won with a super kick. Apparently, Daniel Bryan can't stop. He would, if people were talking about him feuding with Shawn Michaels, he would definitely lose if he can't stop the poor man's super kick. Because Shawn Michaels does a sweet chin music, which is 10 times harder than just a super kick. I mean, what is it? Who was it? Lance Storm did a super kick. Lance Storm, Mr. Personality. So he gets beat by a super kick, and then the Idiot Fringe not only remembers how matches work, he also remembers how ladders work, and he hits Dolph Ziggler with the Dirty Deeds, and then he gets a ladder, and of course, because the title was, like I said earlier, was taken from Bad News Barrett, of course, it's on top of the ring for them to fight over it. He goes to try to get the IC title, and of course, everyone else comes out. A massive brawl ensues, and that's all you need to know. There was specific things that happened, like Wade Barrett throwing a bunch of souvenir elbows. Yes, I'm calling it the souvenir elbow, not the bullhammer, because that's what it was called for 5 minutes. Like with JBL.
Damn it! I thought of souvenir. I said to Wade Barrett, I said, "Hey, you should buy a souvenir when you're in England." And I said, "Oh, genius! That'll be your finish today." And he just looked at me all weird.
the notion of Vince McMahon going, buy a souvenir while you're in England. Oh, that's a great name for your finisher. Bad News Barrett looked at me weird is like the funniest thing ever. Just I can imagine like Barrett's face looking at Vince going, what are you talking about?
It was so funny. It's true story. Stop laughing. Stop it. Okay. Serious business. Trying my best. All you people do is whine, bitch, and laugh at me. But you know what?
Oh man, Vince, would you do that for us? Would you cancel Mania just for us? Oh man, I'd be totally devastated. I haven't been promoting hashtag cancel WrestleMania at all.
Good. You shouldn't. Because WWE is the best form of sports entertainment out there today. We do our best to make sure that you guys are getting what you want and what I want.
But more importantly, what you want, Vince. So...
Funny.
So, okay, so the brawl ensues with the title up at the top. And normally in something like this, someone gets the title, or at least someone's left standing. But apparently, Vince, in your infinite wisdom, that voice hurts your throat, doesn't it? Apparently, Vince, in your infinite wisdom, you decided that everyone should be knocked out at the end of the entire thing, which was a fitting metaphor for the fact that no matter who wins this match, nobody wins.
All of them are going to be knocked out at Mania. And all of a sudden, my boy, Sheamus, comes back and wins the Intercontinental title.
I know you didn't just say that, Chase. Let's drop the persona for a minute. I know you didn't just say that.
Yes, he's going to do it. I know he is. Sheamus is the man.
Oh my god.
But you don't like Sheamus? I think he's awesome. He's all white and shit.
Oh my goodness, please tell me he did not just say that. Now, let me tell you about my boy Sheamus. He is not going to be coming back at Mania to take the Intercontinental title for no reason. Please tell me he did not just say that.
I bumped it in my head. That was amazing. Hey, you want to hear the joke I do with Sheamus every time I see him?
Yes.
Every time I see Sheamus, I go, my eyes are blind. Hilarious. And because he's so white.
Vince Kennedy McMahon walking in a 6'5", like 250-pound Irishman and going, "Oh my eyes." Oh, dude, we're off the rails, man. We're losing it. Oh, dude. Oh, man. So, long story short...
You're on the internet. We're off the rails. You people think you know what you want, but I tell you what you want, and you'll accept it. You'll still watch, and you'll still put money in my bank account.
That's true. I don't pay for anything WWE related.
What?
No, I don't. Totally steal your pay-per-views offline. I don't buy any merch.
Well, damn it. Let me tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to give you the network for one low price of $9.99.
No, I'm good.
But it's a network for one low price.
I just log in with my cousin's account.
You're going to miss the Hall of Fame.
I'll log in with my cousin's account. He doesn't watch the Hall of Fame.
Come down. You're going to miss WWE 24/7.
Yeah, once again, whenever I want to watch it, I just log in with my cousin's account, Vince. There's a lot of flaws in your plan.
Booker T.
No, not going to do it, Vince. Not going to buy WWE Network. I'll buy it if you divorce Linda and bring back some of the old Attitude Era footage. I don't want you to bring back the Attitude Era. I just want you to bring back the footage and divorce Linda. Make her leave.
She'll never leave.
Yeah, you're right. Because apparently you love her and stuff.
She loves me. My money.
Yeah, like your daughter loves older than her by like almost 10 years junk from other men. Yeah, when she's like 15.
That only happened once, damn it.
Yeah, once you know about.
You be quiet right now before I out there and I cancel this little podcast you people are running.
He probably could do that.
I will. Not there.
YouTube's such a.
Every single Tuesday. When I go, you know what I do in my spare time once I'm done watching Raw?
What do you do, Vince?
I go home and I jack off. Once I'm jacking off, I freaking drink like 5 Red Bulls. After drinking the Red Bulls, I watch all these funny Raw reviews just to see what you idiots are saying about my product. I just laugh.
I really sincerely hope we don't lose any audio of this. Alright, we're done. We're done.
This is some shit. And you want to know what I said to R-Troop when I first saw him?
What did you say?
I was like, what's up, my nigga? What you just said? And I said, what's up, my nigga? And he just was like, Vince, I don't think you should be saying that. I said to him, shut up, or you're fired.
IC title feud, we're done. IC title feud, nobody wins, okay? That was the moral of the story. The moral of today's story is, from the Animaniac's mouth, nobody wins in the IC title feud.
What you people want? You want Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler? Dare. You want Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose? Dare. You want Luke Harper to get a push? He's there. You want R-Truth? He's there. And then most importantly of all, you people want Sheamus. And Sheamus is going to return. And he's going to win the belt. Damn it.
Somebody's already made a gif of Brock Lesnar and freaking Roman Reigns fighting over the title.
Ah, yes. I love doing that segment tonight. It was amazing.
So let's talk about the end of the show. Since we got you here, Vince.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come out. Paul Heyman talks. He even talks about how he shouldn't have to talk anymore, yet he continues to talk. And then he says how Brock will try to kill anyone to try to take the title from him, and that he's a conqueror, and yada yada yada, yob yob yob, blah blah blah, and that Brock is a beast and you'll never take the title from him.
Paul Heyman. And I can't believe I have to keep on saying for you to buy the WWE Network to watch my client, Brock Lesnar, destroy Roman Reigns. See, my client, Brock Lesnar, is going to go to Roman Reigns' house, eat all his Samoan food, and then beat up his Samoan dad just because he can. Because that's what makes him a conqueror. So why doesn't Roman Reigns just come out here like a man and take his beating that is with him? Because he is facing the undisputed, the beast incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. This is my time on the show. You get off right now. This is me. All me. Damn it.
Oh my god. So anyway, that happens, what Paul just said, and then Roman Reigns comes out, and him and Brock, almost 30, one in his mid-30-year-old men, fight over the WWE title in a little mini tug of war like they're two kids fighting over a toy. I'm surprised they didn't start just saying, it's mine. And that's how Raw, the one right before WrestleMania, or WrestleMania, if you're in the Two Best Friends play, goes before the grandest stage of them all. We have two grown men in the main event playing tug of war over a hunk of metal and faux diamond.
No, they weren't just playing tug of war. They were playing for the title. See, it just shows how powerful both men are. They just can't rip the title out of each other's hands. They have to fight for the title. It shows how strong the title is, and it shows how strong Brock is, and it shows how strong Roman is. It shows that both of these men are equal forces looking to explode at WrestleMania.
Vince, when Roman walked out, he snatched the title right out of Brock's hand, so that's a lie.
No, we did not see that.
Oh my god.
How dare you question me?
I'm done. God. So that was Raw, guys. The Go Home show is one of those go home you're drunk Raws. It was just terrible.
It was a beautiful masterpiece TV. Not everything we did tonight was just great stuff. I really think WrestleMania is going to be a big hit.
You know what, Vince? I agree with you. 10 out of 10 would watch again. WrestleMania is going to be the greatest pay-per-view in the history of pay-per-views.
You can only get this great pay-per-view on the WWE Network for one low price of $9.99.
Yep. I might even go out and buy it, Vince.
Best believe you better buy it.
Well, that's it for me. Apparently Chase died. Sorry, Vince bought him, and
I can stand just like I'm going to cancel you and cancel all you little IWC freaks coming on here talking about my show. Damn it. I can do whatever the hell I want. I don't judge you guys for buying the action figures and making losers like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins champions. I don't do that to you. So why judge me when I do this my shit with my toys? See, these superstars, they aren't human beings. No, they're my toys, and they're in my toy box.
I'm done. Thank you, Vincent Kennedy McMahon and Paul Heyman, for guest starring on the show. Too bad you had to cancel Chase. So people, you can just go ahead and unsubscribe from Chase Oliver 68. It's now owned by Vince McMahon. He just Nintendo'd Chase's channel.
It's all mine. No one can stop me. I will take down each and every one of your single little YouTube accounts. I will not stop until I do so, damn it.
Alright, join me next week. Oh, sorry, Sunday when I talk about Mania.
Hold on. Got a call. What do you mean? I can't cancel Chase Oliver's YouTube channel. Wait, that's his name? Not his channel? Google Plus? What does that even mean? I only know this, Spout or Sprint, whatever the fuck we're doing. Tapped. Yeah, that's the one I know. Tapped. It's the only social media never got know. So wait, that's his name. I thought it was called Chase Oliver 68. What do you mean YouTube took that away from him? Ah, god damn it. Looks like Chase is still here. I'll take him out one day. One day he will sign a trademark to be a part of the World Wrestling Entertainment. And then I'll take him out. And then I'll take you out.
Bye, Vince.
Sorry about that, man. Vince McMahon tried to take over and destroy me, but thank God for Google Plus changing my YouTube channel to just Chase Oliver.
That's the last time anyone's ever going to be happy Google Plus did anything. Mostly because YouTube would probably allow Vince and Kenny McMahon to take your channel simply because they're butt whores for anybody with money.
I know Vince was being a tyrant. He was not being nice. He wasn't being fair. But we stopped him. Obviously, we can tell he thinks Raw was awesome. Both of us think Raw was very lackluster and not compelling whatsoever.
Oh, I agree 110%. It was not good. They should really cancel Mania. Honestly, if people complain enough and Vince said cancel Mania, I'd be totally down for it. I understand that economically it's a stupid idea and people have already bought their tickets. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense at all. But I don't want to see it. So, not necessarily cancel Mania, but don't watch Mania. If you haven't paid for it, don't pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's only $9.99, so if you're complaining about $10, then you're done.
Well, this is true. I mean, Bill Simmons said it earlier, man. I'm paying for the price of 2 pay-per-views to get all of them. Which means they're all going to be garbage. Except for 2. Bye, everybody.